Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan. Basically, I'm working as a software delivery head. Today, basically, We are going to talk about the software expenses, part three. So basically, we have already covered part one. Part two is also covered. Now it's a part three. Part three basically contains few questions. Basically, so basically questions related to the software industry, software energies, what actually the questions are that we will be going to see. There are few questions. This also we are going to take in few parts. So basically, the question says that first question is, as always, we take the expense of $2,000. There is one software company. They got the project of $2,000 from the client of America, USA. So USA client has given $2,000 to this company. So basically, the question is, we have already discussed this in part one. So the question is, in basically in $2,000, there are a set of long-term expense and short-term expense are also covered basically. So the long-term and short-term expense are also covered. In that basically long-term expense, how many long-term expenses are covered in this $2,000? So basically, one example I will take of this long term expense, that is basically, for example, 100 pools are created from one of the software companies. So 100 pools are already created by the software companies in different cities. So that has took some 10,000 to $20,000 expense. So how that basically that pool is going to 100% going to used by the each and every software companies, each and every software developers, each and every CEO companies, CEOs, each and every people are going to use that. So here basically this pool expense contains around $20,000. So this $20,000 has also added in this long-term expense of the software industry. So basically where this expenses are added basically. So we can take as a database expenses, which basically when server is going to take as a deployment of the one project. So one project is getting deployed in one server. So there basically database expenses are there, and the deployment server expenses are there. They are basically, so in that basically deployment expenses, that is basically database expenses. There basically this long term expenses are taken. Then basically road creations are there. Road creations of the one of the software company, they created the road creation from the software energies. Basically they have one billing software and CRM software. From that CRM software and billing software, from that energy set of energies, they created the road, and pools are also created from the CRM software. So some from CRM software the energies are generated, and from that energy basically they have created the pools. Then basically this all these two expenses are also added in the long term expense. Then basically, yeah, USA president expense, that basically we have already told. So that basically expenses we can take as a long term expense. This basically $1 they are taking for each project, and for pool creation they are taking 0.10, and then for road creation they are taking 0.17. So like this basically the long term expenses are taken. So the question is, how many long term expenses are covered by the software industry and by the software industry chartered accountant groups and the costing groups. And the second question is basically, it's about the user controls basically, which the software companies are using, the users are using, the clients are using. That is basically text box combo, radio button, check boxes, buttons. Then forms are there. Then basically combo boxes are there. Then basically there are many user controls basically which are used by the clients and by the software company. The software company creates the project, so there basically they are using this user control. So the question is, text box is created from the thousand cities. This thousand cities basically just given as a number, but in real this can be more also and can be less also. So the question is, text box is created from how many cities and how many cities has created this text box? Same as combo. Combo is created by how many cities? Radio button. Radio button is created by how many cities? Checkboxes are created from how many cities? The buttons, submit button and reset buttons are created from the how many cities? And the forms basically are created from the how many cities? And how many power companies and energy companies you are helping so that the text box can be able to view in the forms basically. So the question is this, I already told. Then the third question basically says that how many software companies are able to achieve their goals that are the highest goal basically in software company, the dream achievement basically, that is basically called creation of software into software energies. Means the one software has is used by the particular company since 40 years. After that 40 years use, the software company software was used as software energies because that the software had tested and in the environment also and everything is done. After that they decided, the energy departments and the other department decided to take this software as a software energies. So the question is, software energy then converts to the human needs that are basically petrols are there, waters are there, vegetables are there, fruits are there, construction materials are there, water are there. So basically whenever so how many software companies has converted their software into software energy, and that software energy has converted into human needs. So how many software companies have converted their software into software energies, and this software energy is converted into human needs? So total human needs has been converted by the software companies and by the software energies. The question is this. Then the basically fourth question is, then the fourth question says that what is the balance sheet of the software energies? Software energy balance sheet means basically whenever you create any software company or any companies, at the year end basically you have to submit your taxation. You have to submit your balance sheet to the government so that the tax can be calculated. So according to that, basically the government has told that you have to submit the balance sheet only. So from balance sheet only we can able to track the total expense and total income, total assets, total utilities used by the you, and how many expenses are there in your company used, and etc basically that contains in the balance sheet basically. And the balance sheet has also have set of formats that is decided by the government, that you need to submit this balance sheet in this format only. So the question is how many software energies and human needs are used in creation of balance sheet, that is a balance sheet of software energies. So software energy company has created one balance sheet and has created one balance sheet. So that balance sheet basically contains how many needs and how many software energies are basically used, and their expenses and their assets and their each and every profit and loss basically, and from which department these software energies are getting used and which department is getting help from the software energies, and each and everything basically this can be covered. So basically each and every points is going to cover from this balance sheet basically. So the question is this, how many software energies and how many human needs and the entire chains of these two is getting covered in this balance sheet? So basically these are few questions, and basically this is related to the software energies and software companies that are basically getting they are getting used their softwares into many utilities, many levels, and many informations and many energy level used are also getting use of the software, and human needs are also getting created from the software. So basically this was few questions, and basically next video related to the software energy and related to the software expense and the software cost, we are going to cover some other topic also. And this was basically Sunil R. Nair getting sign off from this software expense, software cost part 3. Thank you for now.